Good morning. Welcome to JMC Rides. Wanted to do a quick update on the whole workout situation. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys that have been watching the channel, you might remember a video that I put up about close to a year ago. It's been a little bit less than a year. About a year ago, I pretty much stopped going to the gym. I never actually explained or said anything about it. But the reason for that was because there was a situation where there was some crazy drunk guy that I had to restrain, and yes, that happened, and I ended up tweaking my knee in the process. Once I tweaked my knee was like extremely swollen, and the next time I tried hitting the gym right after that, the knee went down, and then I tried going to the gym, the knee would get swollen right away. The knee's never been the same ever since. It's been in pretty bad shape. So I've been wearing like a knee brace ever since, and I finally got around to going to a surgeon, getting it checked out, got an MRI done, waiting on the results on that. Doctor actually gave me like a much stronger brace. With this brace, it definitely does feel a lot better. So what I'm actually going to do today is, for the first time in almost a year, is try and get back to the gym, try and do some cardio, see if how the knee reacts. If the knee, you know, feels okay, then I'll probably go ahead and I'll continue that process with this knee brace that I have on. I'm just gonna put it on real tight, force myself to try and, you know, do it this way. Hopefully it doesn't get swollen, we'll see. But aside from that, I wanted to make this video to show you guys a product that I found purely out of necessity. Reason for this was because on my last Jeep, when I had the 2015 Jeep, I never had the opportunity to ever take the doors off. So with the 2017, I was like, you know, everybody's always talking about how great it is to take the doors off of a Jeep, and I really didn't get it. So I was like, let me just try it out. So I started out by just taking off the driver and the passenger side door first of all. Extremely easy to take the doors off. I took the doors off. I don't have like a rack or anything yet, so I ended up taking the doors off, brought them inside the house, and put them on carpet, so that this way they don't get messed up. Very easy. Drove around with it. Absolutely love it. To be honest with you, it almost feels like a completely different vehicle. And if you haven't taken the doors off your Jeep, I really recommend it. It's extremely easy and quick. You could probably get both doors off in less than 10 minutes. But what I found was, after I was having such a great time driving around all day, then it was time for me to come home and put the doors back on. That's when it was like a real pain. So first of all, the reason why it's a pain is because each door, I think, probably weighs a good 60 or 70 pounds. I got the unlimited. I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure the doors still weigh the same. The back doors, obviously, I think they weigh less since they're smaller. But they're about 60 or 70 pounds. Now, 60, 70 pounds really isn't a lot, but it turns into a lot because when you're holding the doors, you have to align it with the hinges and like the pin. It feels like you're putting in like a thread through like a needle hole or something like that. It's a real pain. And what ends up happening is, if you don't get it perfect and align the top and the bottom perfectly, you can get it on, and what you could end up doing is scratching up your paint. So I went on Google, I went on the forums, I'm like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Now keep in mind, I am not being sponsored by this product, and they didn't even send me the product for free or anything like that. Like, I purely found this because I knew there had to be an easier way to put the doors on without me scratching or struggling to align up the pins perfectly. So let me show you. So these little things right here, you get two of them. I'll show you right here. Make sure the camera hopefully focuses on this. So you got these two little things right here. They're threaded. The way this works, basically, American Outlaw makes this product. What I'll do is, for you guys who are interested in getting them, I'll put a link in the description below. And keep in mind, this is an honest review. Like I said, I'm not being paid by them. They didn't even send me the product. I ordered this myself purely because I was trying to find an easier way to do this. So I'm going to show you right now how this works. So you guys know you have the bolt right here and this bolt right here. There's just these two bolts are the only things that are pretty much holding the door. Once you remove these two bolts, you lift the door and it comes off. But then when you're going to put the door back on, you have to line the top and the bottom perfectly. So what you do is, you take this thing right here and you can screw this onto the top door, so that basically when this part is going to be aligned with this, the top part's going to be actually longer, And what you're going to do is you're just going to line it up, and this thing's going to go right through this, and it's going to come out like this on the bottom. Once it comes out, once the top is actually longer than the bottom, it's extremely easier to line it up. It takes 2 seconds to, you know, line it up on the hinges. And you're not going to be struggling anymore with the pins. So I just wanted to show you guys that product. You get 2 of them. I think they go for about, where did I put the other one? You get 2 of these. They go for about $25. I think it's like 20-25 bucks. I know it probably seems like a lot for what it is, but if you're gonna try and make this at home yourself, it's probably a pain. So it's a lot easier to just go ahead and, you know, I just picked them up. I wasn't gonna try and, you know, waste my time trying to recreate something like this in the house. But like I said, I think it's like 20 to 25 bucks plus shipping, and that's it. Now, what some people, I see some people asking, do you leave these on? Some people, I believe they do leave it on. I don't. What I do is I just screw it on the door right before I'm about to put it on the Jeep. Once I put it on the Jeep, this little thing comes through the little hole, and I can just unscrew it off, and then I just could reuse it for the back door if I wanted to. Maybe I'm just being too cheap and I didn't want to spend 50 bucks to buy 2 pairs and for the front and the rear doors, but I don't really find it necessary. Plus, to be honest, I really feel more comfortable having, because if you leave this on, you can't put the bolt back on that comes with the Jeep on the top one, so you're only going to have the bolt on the bottom. So like I said, this screws on in literally like 5 seconds. So I screw it off, then I put the bolt on, and that's it, done deal. And honestly, it makes a huge difference in putting on the back of the doors, because as much as I love taking the doors off and cruising around with it, once I saw how much of a pain it was to put them back on, I was like, yeah, I was a little more hesitant. Now, I don't think twice about taking the doors off my Jeep, you know, and go for a cruise. Now I don't worry about putting them back on. Like I said, 2 seconds with this, and that's it. Okay, now aside from this now, guys, other update is I'm still working with the designer on all the merchandise for the channel, as far as like the clothing and the design, the logos, that kind of thing. Very excited about it. I think that the logos have been coming out pretty cool. Yesterday I saw what is pretty much almost finalized completely, and shirts are supposed to be printing out this week. So hopefully in one of these future videos, maybe next week, I'm hoping that I actually have the shirts. I can show you guys what it looks like. Other than that, that's pretty much it for today's vlog. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click the little gear icon to sign up for the notifications. This way you guys aren't missing out on all the future uploads. And again, guys, it really helps out the channel a lot. Like I said before, give this video a thumbs up. Let's try and get this video to 500 thumbs up. And like I said, I think it really helps try and spread the video, and it makes it worth my time to make more videos on the channel for you guys, because if the videos aren't really getting views, then it's probably really not worth making, you know, videos as often as I have been doing lately. So if you guys like the videos, you're enjoying the videos, give the videos a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day.